presentation on PowerPack. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to our webinar on the ClickDimensions PowerPack. I'm Tom Dewey, and I will be your host today. I'm also joined by Doreen Bridges and Annie Zemlicka-Hayes, who will be assisting throughout the session, and we are thrilled to have you with us. Let's go ahead and talk about our agenda for today. To begin, we will go over some general housekeeping items. Moving into introductions, describe what is PowerPack, provide a live presentation of how ClickDimensions PowerPack can help your business, review pricing, what it will take to get started, and some special promotions that are currently happening. Finally, we will wrap up with a Q&A at the end. So before we dive into the exciting world of ClickDimensions and PowerPack, let's go over a few housekeeping items. All attendees are placed into listen-only mode and are muted. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to use the question area in the GoToWebinar window. We'll address your questions during the presentation and during the dedicated Q&A session. If you're having any issues hearing us with your computer audio, please feel free to call in using the phone call information in the GoToWebinar window. As we can now see on the screen, we have today's presenters. Going left to right, there's myself, Tom Dewey, Corporate Technical Trainer at Top Line Results. Next, we will have Doreen Bridges, who is our Vice President at Top Line Results. And finally, from ClickDimensions, we have Annie Zemlicka-Hayes, Channel Director of North America. So just to begin, a little bit about Top Line Results. We were founded in 1999. We implement and support the best-in-class CRM and marketing solution. We demonstrate expertise in database development, system integration, project management, and data-driven digital marketing. We've led over hundreds of implementations, and we're based in Waukesha County of Wisconsin in the United States. Doreen?
Thanks, Tom. Can you hear me okay?
You sound great.
That's great. Thank you so much. So it's very important to understand the value an implementation partner brings to the project that you're implementing. As Tom mentioned, we share over 2 decades of our experience and expertise with our customers. We understand the importance also of alignment and focus. So buying your technology is only part of the equation for success. It's really, a solution either in CRM or digital marketing, or as we see today, both, that is purchased, but having a successful implementation is about alignment. So we bring value to the companies we work with by aligning companies' goals, your growth strategies with the technology that you purchase. Process is a very important part of that equation. We have process discussions on how you go to market, how you sell against your competitors, how you plan and maintain to grow your customer base. And these are all incorporated into the solution, along with your user processes and output for measuring your success. You can design the most awesome solutions, and if the user's processes aren't helping them be productive, it's really not going to be very successful. So users are important, processes are important, and the technology is really there to implement those. Next slide, Tom. So we are thought leaders in our industry. That's another reason you really would be successful in choosing Topline as your partner. We're passionate about helping organizations understand how they can align their teams to drive growth. And we're so passionate on that topic, we have a book written by our COO, Melanie Varand. It's called Ignite Topline Growth, and it shares the philosophy behind RevOps and alignment. RevOps is the alignment of all the revenue generating teams or people within an organization. Everyone that touches a customer or a prospect is really there and helping you generate growth, whether it's your sales team, it's your marketing team, it's your customer service team, or it's the person that just says hello on the phone. All are equally important in the organization. And as Tom mentioned, we have a special bonuses today for attending. We will be giving away 1 copy of Melanie's book to a lucky winner, and you must be present to win. With that said, Up next is Annie to introduce ClickDimensions and show you PowerPack and how it can help your business. Over to you, Annie.
Thank you, Doreen. Here at ClickDimensions, we're lucky to have been partnering with Topline since 2012 to bring marketing automation technology to the Microsoft ecosystem via Dynamics 365 integration. Today, I'm excited to tell you more about our latest offering together, ClickDimensions PowerPack, which brings our technology to the Power Platform for small and medium businesses. The old marketing and sales approach is broken. Today's buyers are more anonymous and more highly informed than ever. They are increasingly influenced by consumer experiences and at the same time feeling overwhelmed by the amount of information coming at them. These factors are changing the way companies need to market and sell. To be successful driving revenue, marketers need to be equipped and skilled in modern digital demand generation, and sellers have to work seamlessly within omni-channel campaigns. Sellers are also being expected to deliver more personalized content while facilitating a remote buying process. SMBs face specific challenges when it comes to modernizing sales and marketing. Here we've highlighted some of those major challenges SMBs face, mainly around affordability, resources, process, and adoption. The first major hurdle is cost. The rush to create technology to influence the modern buying process has led to an explosion of user features, and this has forced companies to price products at enterprise levels. Another issue is lack of resources or unskilled resources to do the job at hand. Process and adoption are other common challenges, and under the banner of those are a few additional points to note. The market for sales and marketing technology is extremely complex. Choosing from over 7,000 products can be overwhelming, and trying to keep data synchronized between multiple sales and marketing applications can be cumbersome. Also, it can be just plain difficult to implement and use these solutions. To address these challenges, ClickDimensions PowerPack is built on the Microsoft Power Platform and is an all-in-one solution unifying your marketing and sales, while being easy to install, manage, and use. The all-in-one solution includes a CRM built on the Power Platform with sales engagement functionality that will allow your sales team to follow a prescribed path of follow-up with sales-ready leads. And of course, it has our core marketing automation solution with multi-channel marketing available within it. We'll take a look at some of the features as we get into the live demo, but I do like people to know that when I say multi-channel marketing, it's not just email, it's not just automated campaigns or things that you're doing on your website, but ClickDimensions PowerPack also includes the ability to maximize your social media ROI with social publishing and demand generation functionality built in. And in addition to those marketing automation and social features, we have sales engagement. This will unify your sales and marketing efforts and give sales more control over those interactions. Those prescribed sales sequences take the guesswork out of achieving a higher engagement and will lead to higher close rates. It also solves the broken lead problem with a closed loop system for handling qualified accounts to sales reps for one-to-one follow-up. The reports and metrics can improve sequences and inform keeping ones that are generating more revenue so that we can maximize those sequences as well. And within the PowerPack environment, we also have a CRM built in so that you can manage all of the accounts and relating buying groups in the same place. And you can measure the engagement through different interactions using the activity history in the system. As soon as an opportunity is identified, sellers can track how long it's been in the same sales stage compared to the expected sales cycle of your organization. And this will allow them to focus on opportunities that are more likely to close. If the sales rep gets through and they decide that it's not the right time for this prospect, through the connected marketing automation solution, sales teams can easily redirect those leads or accounts back to marketing for further nurturing so that we can get them back into the sales process when they are ready. Let's go ahead and start to take a look at some of this in the live environment. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we will dive into some of these features that I've been talking about. There we go. So we're going to go in and take a look at ClickDimensions PowerPack. This is a solution that's built on the Microsoft Power Platform. And so that means that I'm accessing these as Power Apps. What's nice about this is the users only need Power Apps licenses, which are low-cost licenses for Microsoft and very attractive for the SMB market. I'm going to start within marketing automation so we can start taking a look at some of the features there, because as we look at PowerPack, I like to follow a general buying process where we are generating some interest, maybe with an email or an automated campaign, and then bringing that to sales when someone has raised their hand and said, I'm ready for more. So let's go ahead and take a look at the marketing automation platform first, which you can see I've already gone into here. I have a number of campaigns that we're running. This allows me to track the emails, the automated campaigns, maybe web forms or surveys, all functionalities of marketing automation solution, back to the campaign that fits it most. So if I'm running a product launch campaign and I'm sending specific emails, or I have a landing page with a form that leads to the product launch information, I can keep all the interaction to that underneath that campaign so I can easily report on it later. One of the things that marketers really like about this solution is it allows them to see what's happening when. So we can come into the marketing calendar and see when emails are going out. These are some of the ones from September. I can move into October, November, and see when my emails, automated campaigns, events, and social posts are working. Now, there are a number of features in the marketing automation application, so much so that we won't get to all of them in the webinar today. But within messaging, we have the ability to create and send emails to marketing lists as a once-off. I'll take a closer look at the campaign automation here in just a moment. We'll pull back all the email statistics, including any sent emails and an analytics dashboard. There is the ability to connect SMS providers to this as well. And of course, our social platform where you can create and schedule social posts. And it's not just the messaging that's built into this. ClickDimensions also provides marketing automation features like forms that go on your website that can automatically create new contacts in your CRM to market to as they fill out those forms. Full landing page functionality, surveys for things like customer satisfaction or maybe post-sale follow-up, the ability to create personalized subscription preference pages, and we also track web statistics. So who's coming to your website, what pages they're going to, and how long they're spending on those pages. Let's start with messaging. One of the things I like to show when we're looking at the marketing automation solution in ClickDimensions PowerPack is how easy it is to create and send email templates. So I have one I've created here. This is our 2Velocity newsletter, a fictitious company I have in our demo environment here. And you can see I've already given this a subject and a pre-header. I have it categorized with tags so I can easily find it later. And we can go in and see the actual email out of view here. I'm going to open the editor so that we can interact with that email a little bit more. And we can see that this is a simple email created from one of our basic layouts that we provide. These layouts are a great starting point for SMBs to create things like a newsletter, product launch information, information follow-up for existing customers. There's a number of different options, but in addition to the basic layouts, we also include featured layouts to give you an idea of different ways that you might set up your emails. Once you've created one you want to continue to use, like my 2Velocity one here, you can save that to the My Layout section so that it saves time in the future so you don't have to recreate it each time. And if your business has corporate styling, specific fonts or color codes that you want to use, you can set up that corporate styling at the beginning and save that for easy use in the future so that every time you come in to create an email, it has that expected look and feel. Now, a marketing automation solution these days needs to be personalized. If someone sends me an email and they're not addressing me by name, I kind of look at it and like, I'm not going to really respond to that, right? I expect them to know who I am and what I'm looking for, and buyers expect that today. We allow you to come in and easily personalize these emails with information from the PowerPack CRM that's built into the solution. So if I want to address someone by first name, I'll just look at the contact record and pull their first name. No matter who I send it to, it is now going to pull the first name into the very beginning of this email. So I know that when ToVelocity reaches out to me, they know who I am as their prospect or customer and have information that might be important for me. In the email, it's important for us to link to different things. We want to drive people to our website so that they will fill out a form or reach out. We want them to convert so that we can pass them to sales. So having numerous opportunities for them to do that throughout the email is important. And of course, every email should also include the ability to add your social links. And if you want someone to share it on social, those are available options as well. We can preview this on desktop and mobile very easily. And if I want to preview it as a specific recipient, I certainly can. Let's preview it as if I'm receiving it. You'll see that it automatically pulled through my first name, and this is how the email would appear if I were receiving it. Now, there are a number of other features in here that we won't be able to get to today, but those are the ones that I really like: that personalization, the preview on desktop and mobile, the ease of setting up the emails. And again, in those emails, once they're sent, we're able to see every open and click on them. So people are interacting with those emails, like Weston and Marco here. We're able to easily see that within the reporting right within ClickDimensions PowerPack. Sent emails will also show overall reporting. Here is one of our tests for ToVelocity, and I can come in and see the overall performance very quickly. What are our click and open rates? Did we get any bounces on this email? It all reports back right into the PowerPack environment. And one of my favorites, we also have a click heat map, so we can show percentage of clicks for each link throughout the email. This one's really great for marketers. Part of my goal with this email was to generate interest in my product or service at ToVelocity. And when I do that, I need to have a prescribed way to follow up with sales. I want sales to follow up with these leads or contacts that have raised their hand and said, yes, I need more information about your product or service. Now, we could continue to reach out to them. We could just send them an email at Outlook. We could do those things. But if we want to automate the process and make it easy for sales, there's some great ways to do that. When someone clicked on that email, I actually sent them to a form to give me more information about them so I could reach out from a sales perspective. And I did that with a form that was created in ClickDimensions PowerPack. I'm able to easily go in and design these forms so that when people fill them out, it creates a new contact in PowerPack for me, and I know that I can then start marketing to them, or in most cases with the form submission, that means they're ready to talk to someone from sales. They've taken the initiative and they're reaching out. So this allows them, and I'll preview this here, to fill out their information, whether you choose to put this on an existing page on your website, have them go directly to the form like this one. It'll allow you to see what they're interested in and their contact information. When someone fills out that form, what's going to happen is they're going to go into my automated campaign. In this automated campaign, I have this one here, my ToVelocity form completion. I can come in and see that I've had 20 people fill out this form. That's pretty good for a demo environment. But what happens when they fill out that form? In the builder, I'm able to see that when this form is filled out, they're added to a pass to sales list. Now, there are many more things that the campaign automation feature can do. And I do want to talk a little bit about that first before we get to the form fill out. You could actually use this to generate that initial interest in your product or service by having a marketing list, sending an email, checking to see whether or not they click on that email. And if they do, then maybe we want to pass them to sales. And if they don't, maybe we want to wait a little bit and reach out again. There's a number of ways to trigger these automations. This will allow us to continue follow-up and continue reaching out and nurturing those contacts or leads until they're ready to move to sales. Now, we can do that based on a marketing list like I've shown here. We can do that based on someone visiting a page on the website, clicking on one of our social posts, registering for or attending a connected event, or submitting a form or survey. And it allows us to reach out based on any of those triggers and follow up only if they're continuing to show interest. Now, we already showed that when someone fills out my product info request form, that they're passed to sales. This marketing list is set up specifically to pass people to sales as they fill out that form. I can see all of the participants that have already done that. There's a number of them here. We've got 20 of them that have completed this in my statistics and participants tab. We can see that in both places there. So now that we have some sales ready leads, we can go ahead and move into the ClickDimensions CRM. The marketing team has done their job. They've reached out with emails or used automated campaigns to generate interest and get that leader contact ready for the next step. The next step is for sales to engage. As I come into ClickDimensions CRM, I'm immediately brought to my activity dashboard. I can see which activities I have due this week. I can see which ones are coming up. I can see how many I've completed. So I do need to complete a few more this week. But where did that contact go when they filled out that form? Well, they're going to go to handoff to sales. So I can come in and I can take this contact, for example, and assign it to the appropriate sales rep. I'm just going to assign it to me in this case. Now that contact has been assigned to me, and I can put them into a sales sequence. Now I know that this contact came from a web form, so I'm going to put them into my web inquiry follow-up sequence. This sequence is going to automatically kick off my communication with this sales-ready contact. It's going to send an automatic email thanking them for contacting to Velocity, and it's going to address them by first name. Now, some of you might be wondering, what's the difference between this type of email and the email we just sent in the marketing automation solution? This email is coming directly from the sales rep's Outlook, and it's connected to their Outlook. In the sales engagement portion of PowerPack, we are focused on that being one-to-one communication. With marketing, it's one-to-many. So now that I'm down to the one-to-one communication, I'm reaching out to this contact. It's automatically applying my signature to any email that I send. I can really keep the information personalized without me ever having to lift a finger. The automatic email will be sent within 2 minutes of me adding someone to this. I can see that I've sent 9, I've gotten 16 opens and 1 reply so far. I've completed 4 calls, and it looks like it got caught up because I didn't complete enough activities, but you'll see that it's going to remind me to complete a phone call and a LinkedIn task, so I send a connection request. And there's also going to be the ability for me to send another automatic email and then a generic task to either update the opportunity or send them back to marketing. Now, this is a very short sequence. Usually in sales, you want around 20 touch points, right, before they're going to convert. And in this case, it's just a very short sequence to show what that looks like. But as I'm using these sequences, and maybe this isn't my only sequence, I'm able to come in and see, are people replying? What's my open percentage like? How many of them are bouncing? What's my overall interest rating? And down into the actual revenue level reporting for this. How many opportunities did my sequence create? And what's the total estimated revenue from this sequence? Have I won or lost any opportunities? Not with this one quite yet. But once I do, it'll start pulling that reporting through. And I can see all of the contacts that are in this sequence and their status. It looks like Jim Hayes completed. We have a few that canceled because they bounced, and a few that are still open that we're still following up with. Now I could go into my activities and start looking at the next activity that I have. Let's look at this one for Tracy. My next step was to go in and do that phone call follow-up, right? And actually, let's take a look at this from our sequence instances. Here's our next step. And we can continue to follow up with this person. We can complete this phone call and move on, right? Let's look at one that is still running here. Actually, this is the one I wanted. So this one is still open. I do need to make this phone call. And in this case, let's assume that I called Tracy. And I'm going to end the sequence because when I talked to Tracy, she said that she was interested. From there, I can go ahead and let this create an opportunity for me, and it would populate in my opportunity section. Now, I've already done that, so I'm not going to do that with the contact for Tracy today. But for this one here, Hey Solutions, Jim had followed up within my web inquiry follow-up sequence. This is how we attribute the revenue back to those sequences, and said, yes, I'm interested in purchasing some software for you at the amount of $9,000, right? So we have had that conversation. We're still qualifying this opportunity. And I can come in and make sure that as a sales rep, I understand what their current situation is, what their actual need is, and what the new reality will be if they move forward. This helps keep the salesperson on track when they need to come back and start proving value. They have all the notes here to say, yep, I know, Jim, that you needed this because you needed a marketing and sales solution that's going to allow you to continue follow-up with your interested contacts. And you also want to be able to track your competitors, right? So in the business impact tab here in the opportunity, the sales rep can also go into the competitor and see that it looks like a competitor here is this 123. And we can go into any opportunities that are associated to that competitor and see, oh, we've already won an opportunity here with Biltmore. I'm going to reach out to whoever was working with Biltmore and see how they won that opportunity, especially if I'm struggling with that competitor. So it gives the salesperson great insight into what's going on there. ClickDimensions PowerPack also allows you to set up products and price lists. So I've already included the product they're going to buy, which is ClickDimensions, and the price for that. It's a one-time payment because it's a yearly one-time payment for that. And I know that that's all ready to go, and I can continue to move through the opportunity. I've also identified the buying group. Within the PowerPack CRM here, I want to make sure that I understand who is influencing the decision and who the decision maker is. Just because Jim's my main contact does not mean he's the one with the checkbook, right? So we need to understand who that final decision maker is and who's influencing the decision so that we can continue to work this opportunity with the right people at the right stage of it. We're also able to see activity history. And actually, let's look at the history from this year, but let's look at it by month. So I can see that while I was very active with this opportunity in September and October, it's really dropped down in the last couple of months. This opportunity might be at risk. And this is going to pull activity with any contact in the opportunity that's in that buying group, not just the main contact. It allows you to see your communication with them overall. As a sales rep, the next thing I'm going to look at is the sales velocity. I've let this one sit and qualify for 43 days. And in our business, we've decided that each stage shouldn't sit there for more than 10 days. That's actually a value you can set up per company. But it's going to say, hey, this is at risk because we haven't had any communication with the primary contact and it's been sitting here for 43 days. Red flag, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move this. I've already put in the amounts. I know that I've identified any competitors. I understand my close date, which actually probably should be popped out of it here. And then we can go ahead and hit next. When I do that, you'll see that it's in the proposed stage for 0 days. This is the first day we're in the proposed stage. And now I'm back in the green. Now, I still need to have some more communication with that primary contact, but I know that we're ready to propose this solution to the customer. I need to put their new reality in. The system's going to recognize that I haven't put that in that business impact section. And I need to send a quote. So those are the next steps. When I get those done, and if we're still moving in the right direction with Hayes Solutions, then I can come in and mark when we have our contracting completed. That will allow me to fully close out that opportunity and move it to one. Now, if we go into my accounts, we'll see that Hayes Solutions is already there. We've got where they're located, general information about the account itself, and all of the opportunities associated. Now, Hayes Solutions was a prospect until we won our first opportunity with them. Now they're a customer, so any other opportunities we open, they will be customer type. And we'll track all the opportunities at the account level. Of course, we have that general summary. Who's the customer? What's the relation type? How many employees do they have? When we first met with them, how did we get this customer, right? Where did that come from? Details. How do we contact them? How do they prefer to be contacted? Any of the contacts associated to Hayes Solutions will be listed here as well. We already looked at the opportunities, and we can pull through that activity history at an account level. The last time we looked at it, it was for the specific opportunity. If we look at it at a full account level, you'll see that the communication has changed a little bit and added a few more throughout. So we do pull that at both the opportunity and account. I love this activity history because it really makes sales accountable for how much they are reaching out to their accounts over time. Now, if you need to see things at the contact level, that's all here as well. Let's go into Jim Hayes. It's been an active one for us today. I can, at the contact level, see any sequences that Jim has been in, and this is the one where we created that opportunity. I can see the activity history for Jim overall. Most of the communication has been with him. Let's pop this out by month again. And we can see my communication with just Jim. And all of that communication is listed here too, so we can follow up with it. What I really like is it's also connected back to the marketing automation solution we looked at the beginning. If I need to go in and see if Jim was active with any emails, or if Jim had completed any forms, I can look at all of that here and see any form submissions or email interactions from Jim specifically. And it looks like Jim has filled out 5 forms, so he really wants to get a hold of us and buy something. This is all available right within ClickDimensions PowerPack. The ability for sales to have those sequences, to run their opportunities, have a good understanding of where their opportunities are and if they're trending in the right direction, and easily see the activities against their accounts and contacts. So let's talk a little bit about reporting to kind of tie all of that together. I can go into the activities and see, well, these are my activities due today. So I can continue to follow up with these. I can open up my next sales activity. I can go ahead and close that activity and do all of that right here at my outcome. I can say I connected with the decision maker, but I'm going to end the sequence. And if I say interested but not now, it's going to allow me to hand that back off to marketing. Marketing will then be notified that a contact has been handed back to them for further nurturing, and they can put them in one of those automated campaigns we were talking about to nurture until this person's ready for that sales conversation again. If I do mark this one as interested, it'll also open up an opportunity for me as soon as I say okay, pre-populate it with the sequence information, and you can start working that opportunity. So everything is tied back together right from my activities as a sales rep. Now, I'll also have my activity dashboard where I can see all this information and some charts to see how many activities I'm completing, whether they're manual or automatic. If I'm a sales manager, I might look at a productivity dashboard so I can see who on what teams are completing sequences or have people in sequences and who are completing sales activities. And of course, we need a good look at our opportunities as well. So amount of ARR closing by rep, total amount closing by rep, any open opportunities and how many there are, opportunities created by month and by source, and of course, my open opportunities and overall open opportunities. We can see right here in the sales opportunities. There's a number of dashboards here too. If I want to look at a sequence overview, I can see how many I've had that are still running, how many that bounced, how many were interested or replied, and of course, all of my sequence instances and who is still active or inactive. So this reporting all comes built in with PowerPack as well, so that you can make informed decisions about activity within your teams, how your opportunities are progressing, and how your sequences are running as well. So in the demo, we took a look at today the marketing automation solution, how we can start generating interest for contacts and leads. When they're ready, how we can get them to sales, and how we can enable sales with proven sequences to get those contacts into opportunities. How we can manage that opportunity process, and how we can report on all of it in the end. So that concludes the live demo portion. So I'll pass it back to you, Tom and Doreen.
Thanks, Annie. So next, Tom will be showing a little bit on pricing, and we'll talk about how to run the implementation. Thanks, Tom. So PowerPack really has two components, as Annie showed. It is about the PowerPack pricing and then the Power Apps licensing from Microsoft. PowerPack is priced at $1,099 a month. It includes unlimited users and unlimited contacts in the system. It also includes your social basic licensing for integration, and all of the marketing automation, CRM, and sales engagement. So there is a lot in this solution, and it really helps the two departments of marketing and CRM align together to drive sales. If you're a larger organization, there is the ability to grow with additional emails that you can be sending. The PowerPack pricing includes 150,000 emails annually. And you can also add on a social marketing professional and again, Premier. And if you'd like more information on what those options are, let us know. We're happy to review those with you. Next slide, Tom. The next part of the licensing is about the Power Apps, and these are licenses from Microsoft. As Annie mentioned, they are really inexpensive. And sometimes organizations will purchase Microsoft 365. And if you have enterprise licensing, these Power Apps licenses are automatically included. So sometimes there may be no cost. If you do need to make a purchase, each app is priced individually. So your marketing people pay $5 a user a month for the licensing from Microsoft. The CRM users would also pay $5 a user a month for the licensing. And if you need both, an all-in-one solution where your marketing people also need to be using the CRM or vice versa, you can purchase both apps, and that would be $10 a user a month for that app. So very low cost pricing. Next slide, Tom. Now you want to be successful, as we talked earlier, about implementing the solution. So Topline will help you onboard for a one-time cost of $3,000, and we will do the general setup to do the PowerPack installation, set up your users, import the data. We will work with you on setting up the CRM app. It will include a planning session and the field customizations, and the onboarding will also do some basic marketing setup, again, with the planning session, an email campaign, etc. So next slide, Tom. Now, because of the amount of features, We see success with our customers in an ongoing plan. So the service plan that we're offering would be a $1,500 a month charge. It is a 2-year contract, and we do include additional services, as Annie showed, for things like setting up your sales process, defining dashboards and what's important to you, giving user training, showing you how to set up the system and get comfortable with setting up the campaigns, with setting up the email templates, with going through the sales process and opportunity tracking. So that is the idea behind a managed service plan that is ongoing to ensure success. Next slide, Tom. So how Topline really goes to market with their customers is we want to have a pre-qualification call to make sure we're aligned on the same page, that we understand what the PowerPack system is about, how we're going to help set it up to help you, and really define all the requirements. After that, we go into an assessment stage. The assessment is really about those questions on process, how you go to market, what are your goals for growth, and really driving the development, which is the next stage, based on that assessment or that design session. After that, we're ready to go to training. We're going to measure success, tweak the system as we go along, and then introduce new features as needed and give you ongoing support. So that is really about our process. Next slide, Tom.
On some other notes about our special promotions, we are also offering free pre-qualification meetings that expire on the 31st of January in 2024. So please get in there for one of those meetings. Also, we are offering a $3,000 discount for 1 year of PowerPack licensing for deals signed before the 31st of January in 2024 as well.